right. We finna get this thing going, man. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get into our favorite cousins, the Anunnakis? Huh? Good old Enki, Mitchell, Enlil Johnson, Marduk Smith, as Nibiru turns, the Earth edition. Okay? So listen. We ended class yesterday with Enki reaching the conclusion that they needed a better solution to get the goal. Okay? We ended class yesterday with Enki coming to the conclusion that they needed a better solution to get the goal. Because what happened? What happened? We had a strike. We had a revolt. We had the second strike. We had the second work stoppage. Okay? Now, Brother Chief Kuttah is one of the first ones to come out and say that, first of all, the Anunnaki were human. Secondly, that the Anunnaki story is a story of business and family. Okay? A lot of people that teach this information, they try to teach it from this magical standpoint. A lot of them try to teach it like the Anunnaki are these big reptilian monsters and da-da-da. Now, don't get me wrong. They are related to the reptilian monsters. Okay? Just like we are. But that's not what they are. Okay? Now, if you took my class for the first month, you know, in the first 2 weeks, we did introductions. In the introductions, I took you out to the cosmos, and I let you meet the Lyrans, and I let you meet the Carians. Put a 1 in the chat if you was available for our introductory classes, where we talked about the Lyrans and we talked about the Carians. Give me a 1 in the chat if you was present for that. Okay. The introductions to this course is the most important part. You want to get the introduction because it sets the stage for what we teach. Okay, so we talked about the Lyrans and the Carians. We talked about them being the parent races for humanity and for the reptilian races. Okay, so this whole story breaks down to a battle between human groups and reptilian groups, right? And eventually the human groups were joined by other beings that also were adversaries to the reptilians. Okay, so you had to be here for that portion of the story to learn that humanity did not start on Earth. It started in the cosmos and it traveled to the Earth. All right. So when I tell this story, like I say, I tell it from a human perspective because that's exactly what it is. It's a human story of business and family. But a byproduct of them coming here and doing that business resulted in this version of us. Okay? That's the byproduct of it. They wasn't thinking about, they didn't come here. You need to understand, they didn't come here with the intent to create humanity. That was the furthest thing away from their mind. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. They did not come here with a creation plan. They didn't come here for that. They came here to get the gold. That's what they were here for. And they did that, guys, for 200-some thousand years. They did just that. Right? Or 100+ thousand years. They brought their workers. They brought their equipment. They brought it all here. They set up shop on the Earth. Right? They came to our trap, took over our trap. And they set up shop on our block. This is before we existed, though. So they was here. And listen. So they set up this business. Okay? Somebody show 12 the door. Somebody show 12 the door. Because I don't need no help in here. I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't need no help. So they were here. They set up shop. They began to mine the gold. They had their workers. But their workers decided, hey man, this work is too hard. And not only is the work too hard, I miss my family. You understand? So does that sound like creatures? Do this sound like some mythical, magical creatures? Dudes saying that they worked too hard. Dudes saying it's too hot. Dudes saying they want to go home to their family. Does that sound like mythical, magical creatures, or does that sound like what we would sound like if we worked in those conditions? Sounds like us, right? Sounds like us, right? The same way we would sound. So this is exactly what happened. These guys revolted. They got y'all thinking that these Anunnaki were gods, and that these GG were fallen angels and all of this dumb shit. That's what happened when you learn this information from dumb people who don't know. That's what happens. But they were not gods, and the GG were not angels. Okay? Now, they're going to meet an angel in this story. An angel, what y'all call an angel, the correct terminology is archon. An archon is going to make a visit in this story. That's what I love this. A couple things I love about the Sumerian tablets. They acknowledge God. They acknowledge God as the creator. And then you got this episode when the archon arrives. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. An archon is going to play a role. Because what y'all need to know is this. The Anunnaki were hesitant to do to genetically modify the Homo erectus. They were hesitant to do it because they didn't know if they were going against the will of God. Okay? They didn't want to disrespect the will of God, right? But on the flip side, Enki said, what if God intended for us to come here? What if that was a part of the grand design? You see, we do that all the time in life. We go through some stuff and we have to ask ourselves, what if God meant for us to go through this in order for us to be better in this way, right? We do that all the time. So Enki went through that too. Enki had to ask himself, am I going against God by doing this? Somebody show heel grabber, show him the dough. Oh yeah, I'm letting y'all know we block anybody that's not supposed to be in here. So if you come in here interrupting the course, we're going to send you out. So shh, be quiet. Ain't nobody here we ain't here to do that. Okay, this is a quick way to get famous up in here. We're not going to do that. So anyway, Enki had to question whether or not this was something that would be considered a move against God, or was this what God intended? Okay? And what I want y'all to know is, when you say everything happens with purpose, I want y'all to understand that God, the concept of God is so large, it's so beyond everybody, that we don't understand that we all a part of this whole stage. We all a part of it. Okay? So anything that you do, you're supposed to be doing it. That's what you're supposed to do, whether it's good or bad. That's a part of what you're supposed to be experiencing. Okay? So the Anunnaki was supposed to do this. They were supposed to genetically alter us. We were supposed to have the head start that we had. We were supposed to have all these abilities that we got. All of this stuff happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen. Okay? But you're going to see that. You're going to see that. So, we have reached the portion of the tablets where the Anunnaki are about to begin the process of genetically modifying the existing Homo erectus hominid. We have reached the portion of the tablets where the Anunnaki are about to begin the process of genetically modifying the existing Homo erectus hominid. In the spirit of authenticity, I use the term genetically modified as opposed to created, because they are not our creators. Do you understand that? The Anunnaki are not our creators. Being the parent race, genetically modifying us does not make you the creator. Having the title of creator is something totally different, okay? This is why I teach, because so much has been misrepresented. Some have offered this Anunnaki information from the perspective that they were God and angels, and we were their creation. Creation entails the installation of a soul into a vessel. So in order to say you created somebody, you got to say you just create a living being. Okay, you gotta design the soul. That's a whole nother level of. You can design this shit, this flesh. This ain't shit. This ain't nothing but matter. You can design this with just clay. You can design this with dirt, water. You can just design that easily, okay? It's the soul. It's the soul inside of you that is the living being, the light body. Now, that's where God comes into place. So y'all thinking, you know, when you understand God on that level, and you understand that you got a motherfucker living inside of you, there's an actual being inside of you. That's trying to experience, that's trying to learn, that's trying to gather information, the whole nine. That's God. That's the creator. They couldn't do that. Okay? This is why accuracy is important. What's remarkable is the fact that they had this ability half a millennia ago, or 500,000 years ago. They had the ability to genetically modify a being. Okay? We have this ability now. We didn't have it then. Shit, we weren't even in existence then. But they had it. That's how you know they're far ahead of us. They are far ahead of us technologically in a lot of different ways. And they had this ability to genetically modify a being 500,000 years ago. Like I say, we got this ability now. So it shouldn't be a stretch to understand this. To understand this portion requires some basic understanding about evolutionary science. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about evolutionary science. Black people have the biggest issue with the concept of evolution for a couple reasons. All right? Now, black folks hate talking about evolution. But let me talk about why. Let's talk about why. First, their first knowledge of the concept came from somebody that they was told was a known racist. Okay? So a lot of people, what's up, Ro? What's happening, Ro? A lot of people have the concept that Charles Darwin was a known racist. Now, let me say this. I don't know if Charles Darwin was a racist or not, but their ideology of him being a racist is based off of his evolutionary science theory. Okay, so let me explain this. That's why context is important. He didn't produce the theory to say that blacks came from apes and everywhere else came from God. Okay, but this is the way it's been misconstrued. It's been misconstrued that Darwin was saying that black people came from apes and everybody else came from God. And that we were inferior because we could. This is the way it's been misconstrued. But that is not what Darwin's theory produced. Darwin's theory simply said that all men evolved from the hominid. Do y'all understand that? Darwin said that all men, not just black men, he said all men evolved from this primate, right? And from the first man, we get all of these different beings, which I disagree with, right? Because that's not how it worked. Okay, so that's where Darwin was wrong. Darwin was wrong with the concept that the primate evolved into the first Africans, and the first Africans traveled out of Africa. Excuse me, hold on. His theory was that the first Africans traveled out of Africa, and that migration led to lessening in the pigmentation, which developed the pale races. Put a 2 in the chat if you understand that. Okay? This is what Darwin proposed. Not that black folks came from apes, he said that all men came from this primate, and that the first Africans migrated out of Africa, and this is how we get the pale skin races. That's where he was wrong. That's where he was wrong. That out of Africa theory. The out of Africa theory is wrong. Okay? Professor Chief Kuttah in the building. Professor Chief Kuttah in the building. I'm trying to tell you now. So evolutionary, we're finna talk about evolutionary science. And I'm gonna show y'all evolution is a part of God's process. Come on with it. Morpheus in the house. Much love. Shout out to my brother Big Dream and Shawty. Yeah, he was limited. Darwin was limited to his time. He didn't have the kind of tools that we have at our disposal. In defense of Darwin, I'll say this. I'm blessed to have a plethora of information at my disposal. Darwin didn't have this amount of information at his disposal. So, you got to get some stuff wrong to eventually get to the right. Okay? So when you're developing theories, your theories going to be wrong, but eventually you'll get to the right place. Okay? Nate G, we don't need no help, big dog. Show Nate G the dough. Ain't nothing you can do to help us in this class, big dog. We need you to be quiet. All right? Please, don't try to teach my folks. This is my class. We don't need no help, okay? You can go teach your own class. Whatever that shit is you talking about, you can go teach your own class. I don't like people who just say shit. I don't like when people blurt shit out. The white race came from Germany. Yeah, white folks came from Germany. You're right, but that's not where the white race comes from. It's more to it than that. It's more to it than that, right? Don't embarrass yourself with your little fun fact. The white race came from Germany. No, it came from all over Eastern European, motherfucker. What about the ones that was in the caves in France? What about the ones that was in Russia? What about, they came from all over. So they didn't come from one place. So anyway, let's get back to this. Secondly, like I say, black people have a problem with the theory of evolution for a couple reasons. For one, they thought Darwin was a racist, so they rejected based on that. Secondly, black folks feel evolution negates the presence of God, which is ridiculous, right? This is when we, when we dealing with the disparaging of the level of intellect, right? When you're at a different level of intellect, it just is what it is. But black folks feel that evolution negates the presence of God. This idiotic perspective is born out of man's perception of God and their religious viewpoint of creation. But I teach that evolution is a component in God's system of creation. Do y'all understand that? For everybody that was present for my session on God's system, on the system of God, I tell y'all that evolution is a component in God's system of creation. Seeding and evolution are two components of that system. Do you understand that? So if you ask, let's say, for all intents and purposes, you say, hey, God, can you give me your recipe for creation? God is going to tell you, well, first I create the seed. Then I create the physical matter, the plane in which I will bury the seed, right? And once we bury the seed, my seed will go through a natural process of evolution because I've already seeded this process into the seed. Okay, so everything that God seeds goes through a natural process of evolution. Okay, animals, listen to me. All animals and all beings come from the same organism. That was the original seed. You know how they talk about single cell organisms? When they talk about the first proof of life in existence on the planet, what do they talk about? They talk about single-celled organisms, right? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember that in science. They say these single-cell organisms became multiple-cell organisms, and that's the complexities. This is the evolution of this single-cell organism, right? We went from a single-cell organism to Michael Jordan. Come on now. We went from a single-cell organism to Michael Jordan. Is that not evolution? Is that not evolution? Okay, so this is God's process. It's just that you've been taught God's process through some magical diluted story where God comes down and, he picks up the dirt of the earth and he breathes breath into and that's how humans came to be. Which doesn't answer where other groups come from. Because if that's the case, who is it? Black? So who was first, black folks or white folks? See, that's what the biblical explanation of creation leaves you with. Does it not? Shouldn't this information, if this information was of God, shouldn't it answer questions? Shouldn't it answer questions? Should it not leave us with questions? So when you go with the biblical explanation, then you got to ask yourself, well, who was first, black folks or white folks? Because somebody had to be first. We not the same. We not the same. They completely different from us. Somebody had to be first. Where does the information come from? Africa. Comes from the part of the map that we call Africa. Who do we know to be indigenous to that land? Black folks or white folks? Black folks. Naturally, historically, black folks indigenous to that land. So by those facts, we are to surmise that the first man was a black man and the first woman was a black woman. Okay, now that's that. Then add the mitochondrial Eve information. The fact that two white people can't create a black person, no matter how hard they try. But two black people can create a white person, somebody who has albinism or lacks melanin. They can create a melanin deficient being. Okay? So you add that with what I just told you, and now we got two pieces of evidence that says more than likely that black folks were the first beings. Okay? But the Bible don't tell you that. The Bible leaves you with confusion. They don't give you that. Okay? So in order to get that, you got to go to the source. You got to go to the source of the Bible's information. The Bible ain't the source, baby. The Bible ain't the source. You come learn that in here. The Bible is not the source. Okay? We are learning from the source. All right? The Sumerian tablets are the source. You can come into the knowledge. You can have the knowledge. This is the source of the Bible's information, okay? So evolution is in fact God's process, okay? That's God's recipe, right? Evolution is taking place around us all around us every day. Do y'all agree with that? Evolution is taking place around us, all around us every day. So watch this. There's short-term evolution and there's long-term evolution. There's short-term evolution and there's long-term evolution, however you want to slice it. If I wanted to show you an example of short-term evolution, I would bring up the case of the caterpillar. Okay? We all familiar with caterpillars and the metamorphosis that they go through, right? Short-term evolution. Okay? The metamorphosis of the caterpillar would be considered short-term evolution. They evolve over a 2 to 5 week period. Did y'all know that? That's all, 2 to 5 weeks. It goes from, okay, have you seen one of them videos? They got a video out there somewhere. If I can find a video, I'll upload. It's an amazing video. Have y'all ever seen a video of a caterpillar? It's a time-lapse video of a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. It's a beautiful video. Okay, if you want to see God in action, go watch that video. Okay? Go watch that video. It's amazing. Okay? So guess what? When you see a caterpillar morph into a butterfly, you are seeing evolution. That's evolution. Like, duh, god damn, that's evolution. Metamorphosis is evolution. That's what I consider a short-term version of evolution. Then there's long-term evolution. Sharks. Sharks have been evolving over 400 million years. Sharks have been evolving over 400 million years, and they still evolving. And they still, you don't always get to see evolution, but you know it's happening if you measure things, right? So you can see short-term evolution. You can see that because it happens in the short term. But you can't see long-term evolution because it happens over a long period of time. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. You can see short-term evolution, but you can't see long-term, or you ain't gonna be alive long enough to see it. The process of a seed growing into a plant is also evidence of short-term evolution, right? You see that all the time, right? You plant a seed, a little bitty seed, and then before you know it, the motherfucker turns into a plant. Before you know it, the plant turns into a tree, right? That could be considered short and long-term evolution because that tree will continue to grow and continue to evolve over time. Okay, I'm just showing y'all. For all the dumbass people that, evolution ain't real, man, you a dummy. I'm sorry they lied to y'all. Everybody shouldn't have an opinion, guys. We running society the wrong way. I swear to God, bro, you cannot run society giving a voice to people who are uneducated, who are unintelligent. It sounds mean, but it's the truth. It'll be like letting your children run your household. It'll be like, I'm going to let my 6-year-old and my 5-year-old make all the important decisions in my house. Now, you know damn well that 6-year-old and that 5-year-old don't have the knowledge to make them type of decisions. So why are we letting grown folks speak or make decisions like that, right? This is why I keep telling y'all, you can't listen to everybody. You can't listen to everybody. Guys, everybody ain't put in the work to know this shit, man. When Brother Chief be out here saying, hey, man, show some love, donate. I'm saying that to help me get to a point where I can keep teaching this knowledge so I can wake our people up. Bro, we need all the help we can get to do this. And we need to do this. Because that's why we suffering as black people. Lack of knowledge. I swear to God on my life. We losing because we walk around this bitch lost as hell. Lost as hell, simply because we don't have the knowledge. So I'm trying to do my best, man, because we need to learn. So yeah, evolution, God's process, short-term, long-term. We are a form of short-term evolution. And I say short-term because we don't live no longer than maybe 100 and so years, okay? So we don't live long enough for me to be like we. Now, listen, the human experience is a part of long-term evolution. You know what I'm saying? But our lifespans are short, but the human experience is probably about 250,000 years old. So we're continuing to evolve as we go forward, okay? But we are a version of short-term evolution. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Have you guys ever took a look at the stages from fertilization to an embryo? Have y'all ever looked at the stages that creation goes through from fertilization, from the time an egg is fertilized to the time it becomes an embryo? This is the first stage of evolution. I'm talking about from the time that sperm finds that egg. Come on, the sperm itself is a fucking tadpole. Okay? From the time that sperm finds that egg. Let's take a look at this process. Let's take a look at it. Okay. The embryonic stage of pregnancy is the period of time when the embryo develops rapidly and takes on human characteristics. That means that it's not a human. That means that you are not a human yet. You have to evolve into a human. For all these dumbass idiots that want to tell me, oh man, we ain't come from no primates, we ain't come from no apes. You don't understand evolution. Everything comes from something. Everything comes from something. So don't give me this, we don't come from this. Because I'm so tired of you niggas with this, oh, we just came down, we just glided down from heaven. We just glided down from heaven as the magnificent black man and black woman. Man, miss me with that shit. Because if you were still this magnificent spiritual person that glided down from heaven, you wouldn't be getting dominated the way you are now. You wouldn't be getting dominated the way you are now. That is not who you are. You're trying, no, that ain't who you are. So let's deal with the truth. Because we got to quit making ourselves be something that we not. We got to quit doing that. So let's look at this process. More proof about evolution. This is all we're doing. More proof about evolution. Weeks 3 to 8. The embryonic stage lasts about a third week of the pregnancy until the end of the 8th week. So check this out. So first, you got organogenesis. It's the process of tissues growing into different organs, okay? So first, you got this process of it, okay? The next stage, the next evolutionary stage in this short-term evolution, cell differentiation. The embryo cells multiply and take on specific functions, okay? The next stage, structure development. The embryo's head, eyes, mouth, limbs, neural tube, which becomes the brain and spinal cord, form. Now we got that part forming. Okay, when is God gonna come in and blow the breath into the dust? Huh? When does God come in and blow the breath into the dust? Or was that just with the first man? Huh? No. The first man came into existence in the same way you came into existence. In the same way, same process. This the same process. The first man went through the same process. Do y'all understand that? The first man went through the same process. Okay? Heart development and so forth. Okay? All the way down to, let me see if I can see this at the bottom. Arm and leg buds. Okay, look at it. Now we forming arm and leg. And then we get down there, they got a stage that's called tadpole-like appearance. Can y'all see that at the bottom? They got a stage at the bottom. They say it's a tadpole. It's like when we become a tadpole-like appearance at the bottom. Hold on, I got another graphic as well. Let me pull that one up. This one's better. Okay, here go. This was the next stage after arm and leg buds, right? After you start forming arm and legs. Tadpole-like appearance. The embryo looks like a tadpole, growing to about 1 to 1.5 inches by the end of this period. Let's go look at that. Come on. What is that? Is that a human? Is that a human, my family? Is that a human? Is that a human? Hell no. You evolving into what's going to become a human. This is evolution. Am I wrong? Is this not evolution? Is this thing not evolving into this thing? Is this thing not evolving into this thing? Into this thing? Don't tell me evolution don't exist. I just proved it to you. I just showed it to you. I just gave it to you. You grow from a tadpole into a fetus. You go from a tadpole into a fucking fetus. You go from a tadpole into a fucking fetus. And then let's watch this. Watch this. And a fetus still ain't a human. A fetus is humanoid. A fetus is humanoid. It still ain't a human. It's humanoid. There's still more short-term evolution of metamorphosis needed to become what you are. So even when you get to this stage, you still got more evolution, more evolving to do. So you still got more evolving, right? So check this out. You still evolving right now. Are you physically the same person you were at 15 that you are now? You the same person? You the same person that you was at 22 that you are now, or are you still changing? Hell no, you ain't. You damn right. Hell no, you ain't. So evolution is completely real. And it's absolutely, okay, listen, evolution is completely real and it's absolutely a component of God's creation process. Don't let the baby brains fool you. Don't let the baby brains fool you. Don't let the baby brains fool you, guys. We have a distant relative that was an ape, okay? That distant relative evolved into what we know as a hominid, what became the hominid. The hominid is a bipedal creature. That means that motherfucker stands up, walk just like us. It ain't hunched over. It went through a period where it was hunched over. But when it reached its peak of evolution, it became a bipedal erect creature. Now, let me ask y'all something. If you was to see an animal walking the way you walk, right? Walking, moving the way you walk, wouldn't you say, damn, we might have some kind of relation to this animal? This animal walk like us, move like us? The only thing the hominid didn't do that we did was talk. You heard me? That's the only thing the hominid didn't do. And that is what the genetic alteration, that is what the genetic modification allowed the hominid to do. It allowed it to talk, and it allowed it to share its fur. Okay? Give me 1 second. I got to run to the door right quick. I'll be right back, guys. I'm being patient, man. Oh, there's so many people out there. And can I be honest with you? At one point in time, when I was a baby brain, because I used to be a baby brain too, that's important. It's important to always recognize the period. It's important to always recognize the period when your knowledge was not supreme, okay? That was a time when I thought my knowledge was supreme and it wasn't. That was a time where I rejected evolution too. But I rejected evolution based off of baby brain shit. Like, man, Charles Darwin, a racist. He trying to say we come from monkeys. Now that I understand things better, I understand how shit go. And I don't know why, it's such a diss. Like, shit. It's a lot of animals you can come from. It's a lot of animals you can come from. To be honest with you, man, if I really get into this shit, we've all been different. Even the primate has been a different creature at one time. You know what I'm saying? That evolution shit is very complex. It's a lot of different levels to it. The single cell organism didn't split off and become a bunch of different creatures. It changed. It evolved a lot of different times. And it's just hard to explain, but everything is everything. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything is everything. Everything that been something one time or another. That's all I'm saying. So, but yeah, though, at one point in time, I was one of them people that used to turn my nose up at the idea of evolution. But as your knowledge grows, you get better, you understand things better. And when I started to, take a more scientific approach, embrace science more, it started to make more sense. Okay? So, the thing is, what I want y'all to know, guys, let me say this. That's another thing. Our people, for some reason, hate science. So what we'll do is, because we think science is a direct attack on God, right? But what they don't realize is that science is the knowledge of God. Science is the knowledge of God, okay? Mathematics is the language of God. Okay, if you want to write that down. Science is the knowledge of God. Mathematics is the language of God. Okay? So if you be seeing 11:11 and 12:12, 3:3:3, these are the archons and ascended masters communicating with you. They communicate through numerology. Did y'all know that? That's why they call them angel numbers. See, if I told you my history would, like, every day, like all day through the day, I see 11:11, 12:12, 1:1:1, 2:2:2. I see all the numbers. But that's because I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm tapped in. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't nothing new for me. Okay? That's why they call angel numbers, because you're being communicated with. Yeah, exactly. All day long. Yeah, I already know. I'm sure you do, G, because everybody in here is tapped in. All y'all are with me because y'all are part of my activated family. So I know y'all being communicated with. I know y'all catching the good vibes. I know y'all getting all the information. Y'all getting the downloads. So we that's what everybody got to embrace. You supposed to be here. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You connected with the people you're supposed to be with. So enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Have fun. Know you in the right space. Okay? So yeah, evolution is real. That's God's process. And we are about to get into what the Anunnaki did. Okay? So like I said, at the end of the day, the Anunnaki are our parent race. They are not our creators. That's a difference. It's a big difference to being a parent race and being a creator. Okay? We ain't in here. I don't know what you. We ain't. We're gonna get you up out of here. You still got questions and you guessing. I ain't got no guesses. I don't know what you doing, but all right. So let me get this thing going, man. Let's get it going. All right, we done had these revolts. The Anunnaki sick of their shit, and they say, hey, man, he can say, I can create a being. Enki say, I can create a being to do this goddamn work. Here we go. To create a primitive worker by the mark of our essence to fashion him. So was Enki to the leaders saying, the being that we need, it already exists. Thus did Enki to them a secret of the ADAMUU reveal. See what I'm saying? Right? He say this being already is in existence. We just need to modify it. Okay? We just need to modify the being. We don't need to create. We need to modify. This is why when he said it at first, they were taken aback. This is why they were like, Who ever heard of creating somebody, creating a person? Because they knew that they didn't have the ability to create something like that. They didn't have the ability to create a soul. So, but when he came back, he was like, no, no, no. I'm not talking about creating a person. I'm talking about genetically modifying a being that already exists to be able to have our essence and be able to do this work. Okay? With astonishment did the other leaders hear Enki's words. By his words, they were fascinated. Creatures in the ADAMUU there are. Enki was saying that there are creatures in the ADAMUU that walk erect on 2 legs. Their 4 legs they use as arms, with hands they are provided. Among the animals of the steppe they live. They know not dressing in garments, so they don't wear clothes. They eat plants with their mouths. They drink water from the lake and ditch. Did y'all hear that? Didn't I tell y'all we were not meat eaters? Didn't I tell y'all that we were just what they just said? They eat plants with their mouths. They drink water from lake and ditch. So we drank the water from the stream, we ate the plants, and we absorbed the sun. We were agrarian for a long time. Okay? You got your meat-eating diet from the recessive gene, from the recessive man. You know who that is. That's where you get your meat-eating diet from. The meat-eating is what made you low vibrational. Shaggy with hair is their whole body. Their head hair is like a lion's. Okay? Shaggy with hair is their whole body. Their head hair is like a lion's. This is my boy D-Town. We call him D-Town because he got that Dallas shag in the back. Y'all see him? Come on, man. Wasn't nobody back there to line my boy up back then, man. If only my boy had somebody to line him up a little bit, tighten him up, he'd have been all right. He'd have been all right. Get him back there on the back. Come on with the D-Town shag. Their whole body, I'm sorry. Shaggy with hair is their whole body. Their head hair is like a lion's mane. With gazelles, they jostle. With teeming creatures in the waters, they delight. The leaders to Enki's words with amazement listen. No creature like that has ever in the Eden be seen. Enlil, disbelieving, said. Eons ago, on the Biru, our predecessors like that might have been. Come on with it, man. Give him the boost. Sherm say give him the boosted face. Give him a boosted face, for real, huh? So check this out. They said, the Anunnaki said that eons ago, on the Biru, our predecessors were like this as well. Did y'all hear them? The Anunnaki said that they came from the same form of evolution. Okay? Straight out of Dallas. Straight out of Dallas. Is it a being? Not a creature, Ninmah was saying. Okay. So Ninmah is quick to be defensive about the hominid. Ninmah said it is not a being. I mean, it is not a creature. It is a being. Okay? So she already very sensitive about this being. She said, it is a being, not a creature, Enki. To behold it must be a thrill. To the house of life, Enki led them. In strong cages, there were some of the beings. At the sight of Enki and the others, they jumped up. With fists on the cage, they were beating. They were grunting and snorting. No words were they speaking. Male and female they are. Enki was saying, male hoods and female hoods they have. Like us from the Biru, they are procreating. Ningazita, my son, their fashioning essence has tested. Akin to ours, it is like two serpents, it is entwined. Okay? So he's talking about his son Ningazita. He say Ningazita has tested them genetically. And he says that their genetic makeup is just like ours. Okay? He says, akin to ours, their genetic makeup is like two serpents intertwined. So if you know anything about the double helix DNA, it looks like two serpents intertwined. Okay? When there with our essence shall be combined, our mark upon them shall be. Okay, so when we mix their essence with our essence, our mark upon them shall be. A primitive worker shall be created. Our commands will he understand. Our tools he will handle. The toil in the excavation he shall perform. To the Anunnaki in the ADAMUU relief shall come. So Enki was saying with enthusiasm. With excitement, his words came forth. Enlil at the words were hesitating. This matter is one of great importance. On our planet, slavery has long ago been abolished. Tools are the slaves, not other beings. All right, Enlil. About the only time that Enlil, well, maybe one or two times Enlil was respectable. Okay, so this was one of the times that Enlil spoke on something respectable. So Enki is talking about creating a primitive worker to do the work. Okay, he wanted to create a primitive worker to lessen the toil on the Anunnaki. So the Anunnaki wouldn't have to do so much work. The primitive worker gonna take on the brunt of that, right? So Enlil comes in and Enlil says, hey, I don't know if I'm okay with that. Enlil says, on our planet, we abolished slavery a long time ago. And now we have tools that are the slaves. Do y'all understand that? Enlil is saying we built tools, we created inventions to do the work, not have people do the work. Okay? So Enlil is saying, I don't know if I want to do this. Because I don't want to create a slavery system. Okay? So this was one of them times when Enlil was actually respectable. A new creature beforehand, non-existing, you wish to bring into being. Creation, listen to this, guys. Here we go. They finna speak about God. Creation in the hands of the Father of all, and the Father of all beginning alone is held. Okay? So this is Enlil telling Enki, hey man, the only person that's got the ability to create is the Father of all. Okay? So here we go. This is what, the second time when the Anunnaki is referencing God. They say that creation is alone the responsibility of the creator of all. All right? So was Enlil in opposing, saying, stern were his words. Enki to his brother responded, no, not slaves. Helpers is my plan. Okay? So this is Enki and Enlil having a conversation. Enlil saying, hey man, I don't know if we should be doing this. This is something for God. This is not something for us to be doing. This is something for God to be doing. Enlil is telling Enki, hey man, I'm not with the idea of creating a slave race because we got tools and inventions for that purpose. Okay. What's happening, Herb? Shout out to my NTZ brother, man. That my brother from the hometown in the building. Shout out to Herb, man. Much love, family. Much love. Okay. So And he always welcome in here, family. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all ever see Herb La NTZ, if y'all ever see that name in here, he always welcome. That's my family, okay? Much love, gang. So Enki was like, nah, bro, nah. You got me messed up. I'm not trying to create slaves. I'm just trying to create helpers. Okay? Do y'all understand that? So y'all can see the dichotomy between Enki and Enlil. Okay? So Enki said, hey man, I'm just trying to create some helpers that's gonna be able to help us. Okay? And I'm with Enki on that, because Enki ain't treat us like shit. It ain't like Enki got out there and he was acting like a plantation master. You know what I'm saying? If anybody was acting like that, it was Enlil. Shit. It's funny, the same person that didn't want to have a slave race treated us like we were some damn slaves, right? Or treated us worse than. So Enki is telling Enlil, hey man, Enki is telling Enlil, no, homie, we not trying to create slaves. We trying to create helpers. All right? That the being already exists, Ninmah was saying. To give more ability is the plan. Not a new creature, but one existing more in our image made. Y'all done heard that before, right? Y'all done heard that before, right? They say, not a new creature, but one existing more in our image made. Where have y'all heard that before? Let us create man in our image. Let us create man in our image. Okay? Not a new creature, but one existing more in our image made. Enki with persuasion said, okay? Here we go. Come on with it. Try to tell you where it come from. So this is what they're explaining to Enlil. They telling Enlil, no, nigga, we not God. We can't create a being. We can't create a soul. We're just going to genetically modify the being that already exists. We're just going to do a little surgery on him, change him up, switch him up a little bit. Okay? With little change, it can be achieved. Only a drop of our essence is needed. Okay? So he's telling Enlil, hey man, we ain't got to use nothing but a little bit of our genetic material to do this. A grave matter it is. It is not to my liking, Enlil was saying. Against the rules of planet-to-planet journeying it is. There we go. There we go. That's important. He just acknowledged that there is a planetary law system. He just acknowledged the planetary law system that says that you're not supposed to be going from planet to planet tinkering with the life, with the indigenous life. Okay? So Enlil is saying, hey man, I think we're going against the prime directive. I think we're going against the prime directive. We're not supposed to be doing this. Okay? By the rules of coming to Earth, it was forbidding. All right? So he says, you know, you can come to the Earth, but you ain't supposed to mess with the indigenous beings of the Earth, right? So Enlil is saying, hey man, we already breaking the rules by coming here and even talking about doing this. Okay? To obtain gold was our purpose, not to replace the father of all. Enlil out there bitch snapping. Enlil say, man, we came here to get the gold. We ain't came here to play God, dog. Okay, you tripping, Enki. We ain't come here to play God. After Enlil thus had spoken, Ninmah was the one to respond. So Ninmah steps in and said, Enlil, chill out. With wisdom and understanding, the Father of all has blessed us all. Okay? So here go. This is Ninmah talking to Enlil. She said, Enlil, chill out, calm down. The Father of all has blessed us with this intellect and this understanding. So her point is that God has blessed us with the ability to do this. If we weren't supposed to do this, why would God give us the ability to do this? Which makes sense. We do this all the time. We say this stuff all the time, right? If God didn't intend for us to be intelligent, why would God give us a brain? Ask yourself that. For all the people that believe in that dumbass story, talking about the apple in the Garden of Eden, and Adam ate the apple and it gave Adam knowledge and God didn't want Adam to have knowledge. That's the dumbest shit in the world. God wouldn't have gave you no brain if he didn't intend for you to be intelligent. So Ninmah is saying, hey man, God blessed us with these skills to do this. Let me read that again. With wisdom and understanding, the Father of all has endowed us. To what purpose have we been so perfective? With wisdom and understanding has the Creator of all filled our life. To whatever using of it we are capable of. Is it not that for which we have been destined? Come on now, Ninmah come back with some bars. Ninmah say, why would God give us this ability? Was this not our destiny? See, you can't see your destiny until you in it, right? Then you start realizing like this right here, right? Let me show you something. Like I was a car dealer. That's what I've been doing for the last 12 years of my life. Buying and selling cars, right? So I thought that was it. I'm gonna stay on that trajectory. Till this happened. Till I became Professor Chief Morpheus. And my teaching started having a real valued effect on other people. Then I realized that this was my destiny. That it wasn't to sell cars, that this was the destiny, to teach. You know what I'm saying? So you don't realize what your destiny is until you're in the middle of it, until you in it, right? And then you start realizing, oh, this was what I was supposed to do. So Ninmah is telling Enlil, man, we got all of this game that God gave us because we were probably ultimately destined to do this. God is orchestrating us whether we know it or not. God was orchestrating the Anunnaki before they even realized it. They thought they was coming to the earth for gold. But they didn't know that they was coming to the earth for us. They didn't even know it. Because God is controlling the whole thing. It's bigger than even the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are 100,000 times smarter than us and more advanced than us. And God is a trillion times more advanced than them. So they couldn't even see it. Okay? It's beautiful right there. That's beautiful. With that which in our essence was granted, tools and chariots we have perfected. Mountains with terror weapons we shattered. Skies with gold we are healing. Oh, I love that. She let that nigga know. She told that nigga, she say, look at all the shit we've been able to do with our level of intelligence. See, it's all good when we're using our intelligence to build weapons and bombs. It's all good when we're using our intelligence to do all of this stuff. But when we decide to use our intelligence for something like this, now you want to have a problem? It's the same way I feel about how black people view science, right? Black people be so against science because they think science is against God. And it's not. I told y'all, science is the knowledge of God. Okay? Math is the language. Okay? So the same person, the same black individual that will tell you, oh, I don't believe in that science, what science say, this, that, and the third, will turn around and pop a Tylenol. The same person that'll tell you science ain't this, science ain't that, will turn around and go jump in and go turn their lights on in their house. Well, science created electricity. Science led to medicinal remedies and cures. Okay, so this is all science. So you can't use science when it's good for you, but then when science proves something else, you try to run against it. When science says that we evolved from these hominids, you want to run from that. But you want to use science when it fits your narrative. Science and God is the same. Quit trying to separate them. Science and God is the same. Quit trying to separate them. Scientists are trying to find definitive proof of God, which means physical proof. They want to see God. God said, you ain't on my level, little scientist. You're not going to be able to see me. You can, magic is science. That's just another word. Magic is science. That's just another word. Don't get caught up in words. God is saying, you ain't going to be able to see me, little scientists. I don't know who that is in the box, but I promise you, you don't know nothing about this live, okay? Please don't come in the box if you don't know nothing about the live stream, okay? It's a reason why you in the box and ain't nobody else in there. What makes you think that you are about to come on and speak? Whoever that is in the box, what make you think you finna come on and speak? I'm supposed to stop my class and let you come on and speak? Please remove yourself out the box, okay? Remove yourself from the box. This ain't that type of live. So what I was trying to say, yeah, it's a class. That's you got to know that. That's what I'm saying. You got to find out. Don't assume, don't guess. If you've never been in the live stream before, ask the people in the live what goes on in here. How does this live work? Okay? No problem, though. No problem. So anyway, you can't run from science and use science. You got to make your mind up. Okay? Science and God is the same thing. Don't keep trying to separate them. Scientists want to prove the physical God. They're not going to be able to do that. You know why they never going to be able to do that? Because they're not on the level. See what scientists don't realize is in order to get your science is going to only take you so far. It'll give you some answers. You can get a lot of answers from science. But there's levels to everything. Y'all ready? It's levels to everything. So there's a level you can reach in science where you can get only so many answers. But guess what? If you want that God level information, if you want that, what is God? What does God look like? And all of that, well, you got to go into the higher levels. And the problem with scientists, they've reached their peak and they don't know how to go into the higher levels. Guess who are in the higher levels? The Tibetan monks, the monks you see in the monasteries, the people that dedicate their life to spiritualism. The people that dedicate their life to spiritualism. These are the people that have that knowledge of God. Because see, they not sitting around eating a bunch of low vibrational ass food. They not sitting around giving all of their energy to low vibrational ideas and they dedicating their whole essence to spiritualism. So they'll get to them levels where they can start to understand God on a different level. Okay? So that's the problem with science. Science just hits its peak. And it's like, I really want to know what God is. But no matter how much they crunch them numbers, it ain't going to produce God for them. That's their problem. Okay? But yeah, so Nidma is just telling Enlil, we've been able to use science for everything. We cannot decide that we can use science for all of this other stuff, and then when we decide to do this, it's a hands off. No. Let us with wisdom fashion new tools, not create new beings. Let us by equipment, not by slave beings, the toil be relieved. This is Ninurta. So Ninurta is trying to go along. Ninurta is trying to go along with his father. So his dad is saying, I don't want to create a slave beings. So Ninurta is coming back and saying, hey, Drim Hotep, I feel you, my brother. I feel you, my brother. But let me get into this information because every time you type something up, it's kind of throwing me off. So Ninurta is championing what his father is saying. He's saying, instead of trying to create a new being, let's create new tools. Let's invent new tools. Let's invent better ways of getting the gold out of the ground instead of doing that. But this is Ninurta just trying to champion what his father is saying. He gonna always go with what his father is talking about. Okay? So Ninurta was in agreement. Ninurta was in agreement with his father that they shouldn't do a slave race. But Ningazita came back and he says, where to our understanding does this lead? To that we have been destined. Okay, so this is Ningazita. So you got the two sons, and you got the two fathers, and you got the aunt/mom. Okay, Ninmah is an aunt/mom. You got Enki and Enlil, and you got Ninurta, and you got Ningazita. Ningazita saying, hey man, this is what we've been destined for. This was our destiny. Okay? So you got 3 against 2. 3 of them are in approval of creating the Homo sapien. 1 is not. 2 is not. What knowledge we possess, its use cannot be prevented, Ningazita was saying. Destiny indeed cannot be altered. From the beginning to the end, it has been determined. To them, Enlil was thus saying. Is it destiny or is it fate? Is it destiny or is it fate that brought us to this planet? To go from the waters. To put Anunnaki heroes to excavating toil. To create a primitive worker to be planning. That, my kinfolk, is the question. Thus, with graveness, Enlil was saying. Hold on. Enlil used the term kinfolk. Now, y'all know that's one of our terms. Now, y'all know that we say kinfolk all the time. Come on now, I told y'all these black folk. Told y'all these black folks, man, kinfolk. My boy say kinfolk. That, my kinfolk, is the question. Thus, with graveness, Enlil was saying, is it destiny or is it fate? Is it from the beginning ordained by us for choosing? To put the matter before ADAMUU, they decided. ADAMUU met before the council and presented the matter. The elders, the savants, the commanders were consulted. Long and bitter were the discussions of life and death, fate and destiny, they were spoken. Can there be another way to obtain the goal? Survival is in danger. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I think ADAMUU was lying. ADAMUU know that they was already good. ADAMUU just want more gold. That breach was already healed. He talking about survival is in danger. No, it's not. Okay? You just want more gold. Okay? So ADAMUU decides if gold must be obtained, let the being be fashioned. So we exist today as we exist because my dog ADAMUU wanted that gold. ADAMUU wanted that gold at all costs. Let ADAMUU forsake the rules of planetary journeys. Let Nibiru be saved. From ADAMUU's palace, the decision to earth was beamed. It delighted Enki. Let Ninmah my helper be. Of such matters and understanding she has. Okay, so that's Ninmah gonna be on the team. At Ninmah with a longing he was gazing. Let it so be, Ninmah was saying. Let it so be, Enlil did say. By Inugi was the decision to the Anunnaki and the Abzu announced. Until the being is achieved, to the toil you must return, he said. So it's official, right? They say we're gonna genetically modify this hominid that exists, okay? And out gonna pop us, okay? It ain't gonna be that simple. It ain't gonna be that simple, gang. At this time, we want to ask if anybody is in our space that's not a course member. If you are not a course member, we ask that you show some love to the live. Okay, if you appreciate the knowledge, if you appreciate the information that's coming out of the live, we ask that you show some love through gifting. Okay, if you don't gift, we ask that you donate to the live, donate to the nonprofit. You can hit us up at $UniMailFam1212. All right, we ain't over, but we gotta get some of these folks in here showing some love because they in here sucking up the game. You know, I want y'all to understand something. All these people y'all see in here paid to be a part of this course. Okay, this is a private course, but we letting folks hang out today. We letting some folks hang out. So all we ask is that you show some love, man, for the information and for the knowledge, so that we can allow you to come around in the future. Okay, so if you don't use the gifting system, you can hit us up right here, $UniMailFam1212. Send us a donation, man. Cash app us a donation, man. Okay? Show us some love. We teach, we push the issue. We make sure everybody can get the knowledge. All right? So hit us up right there, $UniMailFam1212, and we'll keep allowing you to come around. We'll keep allowing you to hang out. All right? Make sure you're showing the love. Shout out to Snaz Castro. Shout out to all the folks that's in here that's gifting, that's not a part of the course. I might not know your name, but I want to show you some love, all right? There was disappointment, rebellion, there was not. To the toil, the Anunnaki returned. So, Chief Anugi, appreciate the love, Charles Hustle. Chief Anugi came back to tell the Anunnaki workers. They say, hey man, got some good news. Y'all ain't gonna have to do this work for too much longer. Okay? Chief Anugi came back and told them, hey man, y'all ain't gonna have to do this work too much longer. We got some new workers coming, and they gonna take y'all place. So the Anunnaki workers, appreciate the love, Trey Dub, appreciate the love. Okay. Hey, when y'all be gifted, man, let me just say this right quick. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, when a motherfucker do the gift or whatever, but that one gift shit, that shit is worth a half a penny. Okay? Don't insult me with that one gift shit. If you're going to do one gift, keep that shit. I'd rather you keep that. That shit worth 1 penny. That shit worth a half a penny, big dog. Okay, so, you know what I'm saying? Show some real love. These folks paid $75 to have a seat in this course. That's how much the course costs, $75 for real knowledge, okay? But do better than that, big dog. You know what I'm saying? That one gift, one gift shit, that shit worth 1 penny. It's worth 1 penny. So show the love, man. Charles Hudson, message me. Send me a message. I'll send you the information. No, you good, Trey Dub. I appreciate the love. No, you good. I'm just talking about anybody else in there, you know what I'm saying, with that one gift shit, bro. No, that's like coming to your restaurant eating and then leaving you a tip of 1 penny. Okay? So just think about how you would feel in your restaurant if somebody left you a tip of 1 penny. Think about that, okay? That's why I say either if you don't use the gifting shit, you can just cash app us, show us some love. We're going to keep, bro, we have a party every day, Monday through Friday. We have a party. We in here dancing and we learning, okay? It's a family atmosphere. You will have a lot of fun being a part of our group, okay? But you got to show the love. You got to show the love if you want to be a part of our group, all right? It ain't open for everybody. But, so they letting the Anunnaki workers know that we got help on the way. The Anunnaki workers are like, hey, man, how long? Right? Appreciate the love, Charles Hudson. I'm going to tap up with you, my brother. I'll bring you on in. So the Anunnaki workers are like, hey, how long before this help get here? Anugi was like, hey, man, y'all be cool. We're going to let y'all know, but I'm just giving y'all the good news. Get your work on, but it's going to come to an end. Okay? So this is going to lead to the third revolt. It's going to be a third revolt. That's the one that's going to blow the roof off of everything. Okay? So it's going to be a third revolt. And that third revolt is the episode in the Bible where y'all heard about the sons of God coming down into the daughters of man. Y'all remember that in Genesis? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember in Genesis where it talks about the sons of God coming down into the daughters of man. Oh, the Bible mess y'all all up. We're going to give y'all the truth, right? Yeah, so we already showed y'all that these so-called fallen angels were what? Disgruntled employees. Okay? So when they say the sons of God, that's because the primitive Bible people thought that the Anunnaki were God. So that's why they say the sons of God. These were the workers of the Anunnaki, not the sons of God. The Anunnakis are not God, and their workers were not angels. Okay? The disgruntled employees are going to kidnap women. Okay? We'll get there. We're going to get there. All right. So they're trying to calm down the workers, letting them know, hey, we working on a plan. Help is on the way. The workers are like, all right, cool. Happy days are here. In the House of Life in the ADAMUU, How to Fashion the Being, Enki to Ninmah was explaining. To place among the trees, Ninmah, he directed. A place of cages it was. In the cages, there were odd creatures. Like in the wild, no one had seen. Let's go back. I don't know if y'all know what's finna happen, but check this out. Let me read that one more time. So they go to his laboratory, okay? Ninmah goes to Enki laboratory. To a place among the trees, he directed Ninmah. A place of cages it was. Now, in those cages, she saw something she had never saw before, okay? In the cages, there were odd creatures, like no one had seen before. 4 parts of one kind they had, hind parts of another creature they possessed. Did y'all hear that? In the cages, now y'all got to remember, Enki been out here fucking around a while. He been experimenting on these animals. He been studying these animals. He's been doing this for a couple thousand years at this point. So when he takes Ninmah into his laboratory in the cages, he had a bunch of odd-ass creatures. These were chimeras. Do y'all know what a chimera is? Give me a 1 in the chat if you know what a chimera, 2 if you don't. Give me a 2 in the chat if you don't know what a chimera is. Give me a 1 if you know what a chimera is. I'm going to explain it one way or the other. For all the people that don't know, I'm going to explain it. Okay, so shout out to all the people that know. Big shout out to you. Chimera are splice gene animals. It's when you take one animal and mix it with the other animal and you make a fucking abomination. Okay? So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Here we go. Y'all have heard of creatures like griffins, right? The lion with the lion body, the eagle's wings. Motherfucker got, you done heard of creatures like, matter of fact, let me show you a griffin. You a picture of an Anunnaki with a griffin. Here we go. Boom. So do you think, let me tell y'all something. When these people made statues, the statues were to emulate real life. They only made statues to emulate what was actually happening in reality. Do we understand that? Right? When we build statues as humanity, we build them to emulate real life, right? Dwayne Wade just got a statue outside of Miami Heat. Michael Jordan got a statue. When we build statues, it's to emulate something that is taking place in real life. So why the fuck you think they did this? Why you think they did this? Huh? Yes, they had these animals. You know all of those animals you heard about in Greek mythology? The Minotaur, right? The man with a bull's body. or the bull head with a horse's body, or wherever you want to look at it. Like all of these creatures, minotaurs and griffins and all of these type of creatures, right? They had them. They had them. Okay. In your Bible, they reference these creatures by names like Leviathan. Have you ever seen that word in the Bible? The Leviathan? So this is a word that was used to describe some of these creatures. So the Anunnaki had a lot of these type of creatures, guys. Okay. And they still exist. They still exist. Okay. We can get into that. I've talked about that. I've talked about they still got some of these animals chained up. They say that they got animals chained up under the Euphrates River. So they say when the Euphrates and the Tigris River dries up, that we're going to be able to see some of these beings. And it is dried up. And there's a video out there that's got a recording of some sounds coming from out of a pit near the Euphrates and the Tigris River. Okay? If you ain't seen that video, go check it out. All you got to do is Google it on TikTok. Okay? Animals under the Tigris and Euphrates. Google that. But this is a griffin, guys. Okay? So they showing you an illustration that they had them. And then I'm reading to you from the Sumerian text that talks about them. Okay? Montauk, is Montauk one of those places? You talking about Montauk, New York? Or you talking about the Montauk Monster? Because the Montauk Monster, is Montauk one of those places? Are you talking about Montauk? I'm saying, are you talking about the New York Montauk, the place in New York, Montauk? Or are you talking about like the Montauk Monster? Okay. The Montauk Monster is a chimera. It's not an Anunnaki chimera. It's your government made that motherfucker. Okay. The MK Ultra made that. That's like MK Ultra shit. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they make chimeras. I mean, that's the thing. Everything that they did back then, we do now. Yeah, they got all kind of splice gene atoms. Yes, Montauk Monster all day long. Shit, Mothman. Y'all ever heard of Mothman? Put a 1 in the chat if you ever heard of Mothman. That's another chimera. These are beings that escape from these places. So yeah, everything that they did back then, we do now. Trust me. So you're hearing right now, he's explaining that he had these chimeras locked up in cages. So let me read that to you again. That's why I love this shit, man. They wrote a diary, guys. This is the closest you're going to get to the true history of humanity. This is the closest, guys. It ain't nothing else out there that's going to give you the answers of how we came to be what we came to be. It ain't nothing else out there, okay? Check it out. My boy say, to a place among the trees, he directed Ninmah. A place of cages it was. In the cages, there were odd creatures. There, like in the wild, no one had seen. Ain't nobody had never seen these motherfuckers. 4 parts of one kind, hind parts of another creature they possess. Splice. Okay? Mel Z. Ray, join the class, Mel Z. Ray. You got to join the course if you want to be a part of this knowledge. You're missing out on a lot of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? When y'all come in here and you get a taste of my class, this ain't no one-day thing. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 10. Been doing this for almost 2 years. Come in and take a course. Come in and take a semester. I teach per semester. Okay? This is our 4th semester. Sign up for the course. It's better than college. Okay? It's better than college. Trust me. Sign up for the course, guys. Don't cheat. Don't treat yourself. Treat yourself. Creatures of 2 kinds, by their essences combined into Ninmah, Enki was showing. To the house of life they returned. To a clean place with a brightness shining, they led her. Listen to that. What does that sound like to you guys? He says, okay, to the house of life they returned. To a clean place with brightness shining, they led her. A laboratory. In the clean place, come on with it, D-Lynn. In the clean place, Ningazita to Ninma, the life essence secrets was explaining. How the essence from two kinds can be combined, he was showing her. Okay? So he's showing her how you can combine two creatures, how to do it. The creatures in the tree cages are too odd. Monstrous they are, Ninma was saying. Okay? So I let you know, like I told y'all, the Anunnaki, these are humans. Right? Because if you're a fucking monster, how dare you call something else a monster? These were humans. Okay? Ninma said them creatures too monstrous. Enki responded, indeed so. To attain perfection, that is what I need you for, Ninma. How the essences to combine, how much of this, how much of that to put together, in which womb conception to begin, in which womb should the birth be given. So this is why he's telling her he need her. I need you to help me put the right amount of my DNA. I need you to help me decide on which womb we should implant the fertilized egg inside of. So these are the things he said he needed Ninma for. For that, your succor and healing is needed. To understand of one who gave birth, who a mother is required. So he said, I need a mama. If I'm going to be in here trying to create something that's going to give birth, I need a mama to be a part of that. A smile on the face of Ninma there was. The two daughters that by Enki she mothered, she well remembered. With Ningazita, she surveyed the sacred formulas that on the MEs were secreted. How this and that were done of him, she inquired. The creatures in the tree cages she examined. The two-legged creatures she contemplated. By a male inseminating a female, are the essences transmitted? The two entwined strands we need to separate and combine an offspring to fashion. Let a male Anunnaki impregnate a two-legged female. Let combination offspring be born, thus did Ninma say. So this was their first attempt. Their first attempt was to have a male Anunnaki impregnate a female hominid. Okay? That did not work. That did not work. That we have tried. With failures, it resulted. So they had already tried that. That didn't work. It didn't work having a male Anunnaki impregnate a female hominid. There was no conceiving. There was no birth. Now, this is the account of how the primitive worker was created. How Enki and Ninma with Ningazita assisted the being fashioned. Okay? So you got Enki, Ninma, and Ningazita working on creating what will become the first Homo sapien. So let's go back to Genesis. In Genesis, it says, let us create man in our image. Who is us and who is our? Enki, Ninma, Ningazita. There's your us and your our. Let us create man in our image. When we see the Anunnaki, guys, them folks gonna look like us. And it's gonna surprise the shit out of y'all. Let us create man in our image. That's your us and your our. Okay? Another way the admixture of essences to obtain must be tried, Ninma was saying. How the two strands of essences to combine, another way must be found. So now we're about to start genetic tinkering. Okay, so listen. They tried to create the being through procreation. Okay? Through procreation. Procreation is just sex. They just tried to have a male Anunnaki have sex with a female hominid and to create, like I told y'all, it's 3 forms of creation. There's procreation, there's creation by design, and there's creation by thought. Creation by thought is God level. Creation by design is Anunnaki level. When you create by design is when you genetically tinker with something, okay? So that didn't work. Procreation did not work. So they're going to move on to creation by design. This is when they're going to get into just switching up the genetics, okay? So this is going to be what they're going to do in this portion. That which from the earth is the portion must not be harmed. To receive our essence and graduate must be shaped. From the ME, formulas of Nibiru's essence only bit by bit could be attempted. In a crystal vessel, Ninma an admixture was preparing. The oval of a female two-legged she gently placed. So y'all know what in vitro fertilization is, right? In vitro fertilization, when they implant a fertilized egg into a woman. We all know about that process, right? So that's basically what they're doing right here. Okay, so just to speed everything up, they're basically doing a process of in vitro. What they're doing is they're taking their they're taking their genes. Okay, I don't know if y'all know it. Genes ain't nothing but blood. That's just in your blood or in your tissue. Okay, so they're taking their blood and their genes and they're putting it in this mixture. And this is the mixture that they're going to use to fertilize the egg. And then they're going to take the fertilized egg and implant it. Okay? In a crystal vessel, Ninma an admixture was preparing. The oval of the female two-legged she gently placed. So she placed it in the hominid. So they trying to create this new being through the birth canal of the hominid, okay? That's going to be the problem, trying to use the hominid to do it, but we'll get there. Yeah, just sperm contains all the genetic material, but genetic material can be found just from your skin, just from a skin cell. Y'all do know that they can make a clone just by having a piece of your skin. They can clone you just by having a piece of your skin. So all of your genetic material is in your skin. It's in your hair, in your skin. That's why y'all need to stop running to 23andMe and running to goddamn Ancestry.com giving your genetic information up. Y'all ass gonna get cloned. You're gonna have a clone out here in this world. And I'm telling you, they ain't gonna be good. That oval back into the womb of the two-legged female she inserted. The time there was conceiving, a birth was indeed forthcoming. The allotted time for birth giving the leaders awaited. With anxious hearts, the results they were seeking. The allotted time arrived. There was no birth giving. Okay, so 9 months went by and that hominid didn't have a baby. The hominid was pregnant, but the baby didn't come out. So listen here. Here we go. Listen. In desperation, Ninma made a cutting. That which was conceived with tongues she drew out. What that sound like to y'all? What that sound like to y'all that Ninma just did? 9 months went by and the baby didn't come out. There you go. Come on with it. C-section, right in the Sumerian tablets. Come on now. Come on. Come on, man. Your Bible ain't giving you this, man. Your Bible not giving you this at all. A C-section. Come on, man. And look how they explained it. They explained it in such a way you know that this is from some other period of time. They didn't even explain it the way we would explain it. Come on now. The allotted time for birth giving, the leaders awaited. With anxious hearts, the results they were seeking. The allotted time arrived. There was no birth giving. Something was wrong. In desperation, Ninmah made a cutting. That which was conceived with tongues, she drew out. A living being it was, with glee, Enki shouted. We attained, Ningazita with joy cried out. So everybody happy. Woo, we did it. We did it. In her hands, Ninmah held the newborn. But with joy, she was not filled. Something was wrong. Shaggy, with hair all over, was the newborn. His foreparts, like of the earth creatures, were. His hind parts to those of the Anunnaki, more akin they were. So we got a problem. They trying to create somebody that looked like them. Okay? But this dude that came out was half like he was half primate, half Anunnaki, right? He was human from the waist down, but he was a primate from the waist up. Okay? They let the two-legged female nurse the newborn with her milk to suckle him. Fast was the newborn growing. What on the Biru a day was, a month in the Abzu was. So y'all remember we already went over there. A day on the Biru is a month on Earth, okay? Taller the Earth child grew. In the image of the Anunnaki, he was not. His hands for tools were not suited. His speech only grunting sounds was. So he had them same hands like the hominids, and he still had the speech, the grunting. Okay? So this was unsuccessful, okay? This is one of many errors. So what I want y'all to know is this. A lot of y'all done heard of Bigfoot. A lot of y'all done heard of Bigfoot. Some of y'all thought Bigfoot was a myth. Some of y'all thought Bigfoot was a myth. Bigfoot wasn't no myth. See, you don't know Bigfoot's story. Where did Bigfoot come from? Bigfoot is a part of this. This is the birth of Bigfoot. Bigfoot is one of the mistakes that the Anunnaki made on their way to creating Homo sapiens. One of the failed Homo sapiens became what we know today as the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, the skunk ape. Okay? That's where this being came from. The Bigfoot is the missing link between hominids and humans. If you ever see a Bigfoot, you're going to notice that they got human faces. Let me see if I got a picture of one up in here. Let me see. Okay. Somebody say they done now. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Girl, we don't know who the fuck you are. We ain't looking for you. We ain't asked you to come in here and we could care. She talking about I'm done now. Stay blessed. Girl, get your goof ass out of here. like we up in here dealing with this knowledge, worrying about what she believe in or some shit. Sis, go your ass to church. Go get your money to TDs or somebody. Go do that. And you stay blessed. Let's make sure we person. Let's make sure we block that person. We don't need no baby brains in our space. That's the one thing I don't allow. Yeah, sis, come on, sis. Come on, sis. We know you ain't got no knowledge, boo. Stop it. Stop it. It's a picture from a trail cam. Now, you can find these pictures out here everywhere. You can find pictures of Bigfoot everywhere. You know, you got to be a ridiculous ass person to be in 2024 and still be thinking that none of this shit exists. Like, how many pieces of evidence got to come out? Motherfuckers say, I want video proof. Then when they show you video proof, oh no, that's Photoshop. Oh no, that's AI. Guys, we've been getting these pictures of Bigfoot long before Photoshop and AI existed. We've been getting these pictures. Folks have literally seen them with their own eyes, man. So listen, don't confuse your belief system, because that's why we don't even fuck with people like y'all no more. Y'all folks that live your life on belief, you can't be in our circle. This is a circle of intelligence and intellectuals. We don't do belief. We do knowledge, what you can prove. So miss me with that. Miss me with that. Did we block that girl? Did we get her blocked? Don't let her stumble back in here. Talking about she done now. Stay blessed. Yeah, you done. Don't remember, guys, this is a private course. If I didn't message you to come in here, I didn't ask you to come in here. Okay? If I didn't message you to come in here, I didn't ask you to come in here. Stop telling me I'm leaving or I'm gone like I give a fuck. I don't even know you exist. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are, nor do I care that you gone. Bye. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So the Bigfoot is one of these failed Homo sapiens. Okay? He was a failed Homo sapien. All right? So let's continue on so we can finish up for the day. Enki said, we must try once more. Ninma was saying, the admixture needs adjusting. So they got to try it again. Let's get back to the drawing board. Let me, I say, the MEs. With this or that, the MEs, and make the endeavor. With Enki and Ningazita assisting, they repeated the procedures. The essences in the MEs, Ninma carefully considered. One bit she took from one bit she took from another. Then in the crystal bowl, the oval of an earth female she inseminated. There was conception at the appropriate time. There was birth giving. Here we go again. This one was more in the likeness of the Anunnaki. They let his birth mother suckle him. They let the newborn grow to a child. Appealing he was by his looks. His hands to hold tools were shapen. His senses they tested. They found there was a deficiency. Okay? So the next version, he had the humanoid look. He looked like the Anunnaki. His hands were suited to work like a human's hands. But he had some deficiencies in his senses. Okay? The earth child could not hear. His eyesight was faltered. Okay? So that one right there, he couldn't hear and he couldn't see. That was the problem with that one. Again and again, Ninma rearranged the admixtures of the ME formulas. She took bits and pieces. Okay? The next being was paralyzed, had paralyzed feet. Then there was another one that had semen dripping from his penis. Do y'all get the picture now? Didn't I tell y'all there was some trial and error in them creating the Homo sapien that we became? There was a lot of trial and error in this process. Okay? So they say they had one dude they created was like Bigfoot. One dude they created was blind and couldn't see. Another one had both of his feet paralyzed. Jesus is king. Who, king of who, big dog? Who is Jesus, big dog? Who is that? He couldn't even tell us. Julius Jack, tell us who Jesus is right quick. Give us some information about Jesus, Julius Jack. Oh, y'all blocked him? I was going to give him an opportunity because he wanted to tell us that Jesus was king. Tell us about who this Jesus is. I know Yeshua. I know a man named Yeshua. But I don't know no dude named Jesus. That sounds like something that the white man gave you. That sounds like something your slave master gave you. Jesus. You sure you did your research on that? Yeah. They keep sending the baby brains in here. Send them to TD Jakes. Go send them to TD Jakes. Go find TD Jakes. With all that Jesus shit. Go let a man who having sex with other men teach you about Jesus. Go do that. Go do that. Guys, if you want to do some little quick research, look up when was the letter J created. Okay? If you want to do some real research, go look up, go just Google when was the letter J created and get back to me. And get back to me. 1524, not even 1300, my boy. 1524. 1524. And then the letter J wasn't widely used. It wasn't widely used till the 1600s. Uh-oh, Big Mama name is Isis. Who is, I don't know who that is. Okay, y'all, we calm it down, guys. Let me finish my thing before I have to start running people over here. I don't want to have to start running people out of the room, guys. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna have more knowledge than me. You just not. If you got more knowledge than me, you should be teaching. If you got more knowledge than me, then you should have a course where people pay you $75 a seat to be a part of to get this information. If you got more knowledge than me, I should be in your class. But if you in my class, pipe down. Pipe down. Nah, you wrong. No, Jesus removed J equals ISIS. No, wrong, 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 wrong. Please take that shit somewhere else, homie. Take that shit somewhere else. All that dumb shit that somebody done taught you, my bad. But take that dumb shit somewhere else. All that Jesus removed J equals ISIS. Man, throw that shit away. Who taught you that dumb ass shit? Who taught you that, big dog? Please, throw that away. Throw that away. I don't know who be teaching y'all that dumb ass shit, man. Go do some real research, guys. Stop watching videos. Stop watching videos and go do some real research. Go do some archaeological studies. Go study some fucking civilizations. Stop jumping on TikTok, watching videos, thinking you getting information. You niggas don't come from the archaeological record. Y'all come from videos. Oh, I seen a video about such and such. Miss me. It's a reason why I'm considered a professor or a teacher of this information and you not. Okay? Pipe down. Let me do what I'm doing. This 18 years of work. This 18 years of studying and work. You let a doctor cut on you and do surgery with just 8 years of school. This is 18 years of this shit. We ain't the same. Calm down. Pipe down. If you can teach, if you got knowledge, go to your page right now. Turn your live on. If 50 people don't join your live looking to learn, shh, be quiet. Please, be quiet. It's levels. It's levels. LeBron is LeBron because LeBron is the best at what he does at his position. It ain't a bunch of niggas like LeBron. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan because he was the best. It wasn't a bunch of niggas like Michael Jordan. Please stop thinking that it's a bunch of niggas out here like me. It ain't. It ain't. Stop it. So, in the trial and error process, there were a lot of beings that didn't pan out successfully. Okay? You had the dude who was paralyzed. Both his feet was paralyzed. They had one dude with drippy dick. We're going to call him drippy dick. Okay? His semen was dripping. Come on, man. That's tough, man. Can you imagine being brought forth in the world and you walking around and your penis is consistently dripping semen everywhere? You can't go in nobody's house. You can't walk on nobody's carpet. Them folks don't want your ass around. Here he come. He finna stiffen up my flow. That boy finna have my flow stiff as hell. So, my boy Drippy Dick, man, goodness gracious. One had trembling hands. One had a malfunctioning liver. One had hands too short to reach the mouth. The nigga was like Tyrannosaurus Rex. One of them had hands that was too short to reach the mouth. Are y'all hearing these deformities? This is crazy, but this is the truth. Man had arms too you know what I'm saying? One had lungs for breathing unsuited. So this was all the result of this genetic alteration. They trying to get it right. They trying to get it right, man. All right, God, listen, man, God's process is complex. So these Anunnaki was trying to do their best to try to untwine God's process, okay? A primitive worker is not attained to Ninmah, he was saying. What is good or is bad in this being by trials I am discovering? Ninmah to Enki responded, to continue for success, my heart prompts me. Once more, an admixture she made. Once more, the newborn was deficient. Okay, so we keep falling short. Perchance the shortfall is not in the admixture, Enki was saying to her. Perchance neither in the female's oval nor in the essence is the hindrance. Of what the earth itself is fashioned, perchance that is what's missing. Ooh, y'all don't even know. That was a bombshell. It's about to explode. Let me run that back. I'm finna run it back. I got you, D-Land. I got you. So they trying to figure out what's going wrong, right? So they say, I don't think it's the mixture. I don't even think it's the female. I don't even think it's the female that we're using. He say perhaps the missing part is what the earth is made of itself. So you know how in the Bible, where it tells you that God made Adam and Eve from the dirt, from the dust of the earth, from the clay of the earth? Didn't I tell you that the Sumerian tablets explains the Bible in full detail? See, it's not that the Bible is lying. The Bible is giving you a half truth. It's not giving you what really happened in detail. So in order to create us, this beautiful brown skin, you had to use the dirt. You had to use the gold of the earth. They used copper, gold in the clay of the earth, and they mixed that in the admixture. So when you hear black folks say that we made of gold, when you hear black people say we made of stardust, well, guys, y'all do know stardust is the same stuff that's on the earth. Stars become planets, okay? So everything that's in a star is everything that's on earth. So this ain't what I'm telling you guys. I told y'all this information is not going to take you away from God. This information going to bring you closer to God, because you're going to understand that God is above these beings. These are just advanced humans. They understand that God is above them, that God is more complex than them. These are just advanced humans. That's all. So they came to the idea that they got to use what the earth is made of. Maybe we need to use some of what the earth is made of. Okay, let's hear. Perchance neither in the female's ova nor in the essences is the hindrance. Of what the earth itself is fashioned, perchance that is what's missing. Not of Nibiru's crystal's use of the vessel, of the clay of earth make it. So they say instead of using this Nibiru crystal, make the vessel out of clay, add some gold, add some copper, and we're going to mix it up. We're going to make the admixture in a vessel of clay made from the earth. Okay? So was Enki with great wisdom possessed, saying to Ninmah, Perchance, what is earth's own admixture of gold and copper is required? Come on now. Come on now. Let me take some time to shout out to my melanated family. Okay. Shout out to the beautiful melanated gods and goddesses, man. Hey, man, y'all made of gold and copper, baby. Okay. Why you call yourself copper color? Why you call yourself copper color? The Bible ain't never tell you you got copper in you. But the tablets did. And you know that's a fact. You got gold in you. Oh, go watch this. Why you think we love to wear this shit? Why you think we love to wear this shit? Because we are of this shit. Why you think this shit reacts with us? Why you think fake gold turns green and affects us in that way? Our body rejects fake gold because we real gold. We are real gold. Our body rejects that fake shit. You gold, man. You solid gold. You copper. You are of the earth. Come on, listen to him. Check this out. Watch this shit. Thus was Enki, he who knows things, prompting her to use the clay of the ADAMUU. In the house of life, Ninmah made a vessel of the ADAMUU's clay. As a purifying bath, she shaped the vessel within it to make the admixture. Gently into the clay vessel, the oval of an earth female, the two-legged, she put. The life essence from an Anunnaki's blood extracted, she in the vessel placed. Like I told you, all you need is a drop of blood, okay? By the ME formulas was the essence directed. Bit by bit, correct, bit by bit in the vessel was added. Then the oval, thus fertilized in the womb of the earth female, she inserted it. There was conception. Ninmah with joy announced. Tap it up, man. Show the love. Let's go ahead and knock out this goal. We what we is like 9 gifts. We a few gifts away. We're a few gifts away. Let's hit this goal right quick. The allotted birth-giving time they awaited. At the allotted time, the earth female began to travail. A child, a newborn, was forthcoming. With her hands, Ninmah extracted the newborn. A male it was. In her hands, she held the child. His image she examined. It was the image of perfection. In her hands, she held up the newborn. Enki and Ningazita were... Shout out to the family. With joyful laughter, the 3 leaders were seized. Enki and Ningazita were backslapping. Ninmah, Enki embraced with a kiss. All right, so everybody shaking each other's hands. Your hands have made it, Enki, with a gleaming eye to her, he was saying. They let the birth-giving mother suckle the newborn. Quicker than a child on the Nibiru grows, he was growing. From month to month, the newborn progressed. From a baby to a child, he was becoming. His limbs for the task were suited, but we got a problem. Speech he knew not. Of speaking he had no understanding. Grunts and snorts were his utterings. Wah, wah, wah. So this one right here, had to look. This one had to look. This one looked human. That was all good. Everything, hands was good. But he didn't have the speech. He couldn't speak. Okay? So we got to go back to the drawing board. We got to go back to the drawing board one more time. One more time. One more time. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy making these genetic alterations. It was not easy. And this took a long time, too. This was not overnight. Enki, the matter was pondering. What was done each step in admixture he mixed? Of all that we had tried and changed, one thing was never altered. To Ninmah, he was saying. He said, of all the things we changed, it was one thing we didn't change. into the womb of the earth female, the fertilized oval was always inserted. Perchance this is the remaining obstruction. Thus Enki was saying. Ninmah at Enki gazed with bewilderment she beheld. So all them changes they made that didn't work, that got them closer, okay? So they made a lot of changes that got them closer to their desired result, but there was one change that they didn't make. And that was where they was placing the oval. Instead of placing the fertilized egg into the oval, where they placed the fertilized egg. Instead of placing the fertilized egg into a hominid, okay, because that's who they was putting it in. They was putting it in the body of the hominid, okay? They're about to make the decision to put the fertilized egg, it's the hominid's egg, and it's the Anunnaki's essence. They mix that, and they're going to put it in the body of an Anunnaki woman. That's what they was missing. That's going to give us the ability to be just like them, to talk like them, to appear like them, the whole nine. Had to come from a body, had to come from the womb of a being that was already genetically suited for speech. You see, the hominid had not evolved to a level genetically where it had this ability of speech. So you had to be bringing forth this life from a womb of a being that was already suited to speak. Ninmah and Enki gazed with bewilderment. Yes, inside the Anunnaki woman. What in truth are you saying of him? She required an answer. Of the birth-giving womb I am speaking. To her, Enki was responding. Of who the fertilized oval nurtures, the birth-giving carries. In our image and after our likeness to be, perchance an Anunnaki womb is required. There you go again, guys. Straight out of Genesis. In our image and after our likeness to be, perchance an Anunnaki womb is required. In the house of life, there was silence. Words never before Enki was uttering. They gazed at each other. About what in each other's mind were they thinking? Wise are your words, my brother, Ninmah at long last was saying. Perchance the right admixture in the wrong womb was inserted. Now, where is the female among the Anunnaki to offer her womb? Okay, so now they got to go to the Anunnaki nurses. Remember, there's some nurses there, and they got to go to the Anunnaki nurses, and they got to ask and see which one of them would be open to the idea of bringing forth this life, right? Using their body to bring this life forth. Perchance the perfect primitive worker to create. Perchance a monster in her belly to carry. So what was Ninmah with a trembling voice saying? So Ninmah was saying, look, this kind of scary. Because either we going to make a perfect being or somebody going to be carrying a monster in their body. They call the hominids a monster. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you right there what the Anunnaki was. That tells you that the Anunnaki was, you know, the same way we consider ourselves, civil humans, okay? So they look to the hominids as monstrous, okay? So Ninmah was saying this is pretty risky. You know, we going to either get the desired result or somebody going to be carrying a monster in their stomach. So Enki says, let me ask my wife. Let me ask my wife if she'll do it, okay? Enki say, I'm the leader of this expedition. If anybody going to be put at risk, let me have my wife do it. Let us summon her to the house of life to lay the matter out before her. He was turning to depart when Ninmah put her hand on his shoulder and said, no, Enki, not your wife. Let it be me. Okay? So Ninmah says, no, we're not going to put your wife at risk. She says, the admixtures by me were made. Reward and endangerment should be mine. Okay? So this is Ninmah again, guys, showing y'all that the Anunnaki were human. Okay, these are human ways to handle things. This was honorable. This was honorable. This was Ninmah saying, hey, man, no, I'm not going to let you put your wife at risk. I'm going to put myself at risk because I'm the one who's been mixing this stuff up. So if anybody going to take this risk, it's going to be me. She says, I shall be the one. I shall be the Anunnaki womb to provide for good or evil fate to face. Enki bowed his head. He embraced her. So be it, he said to her. In the clay vessel, the admixture they made, the oval of an earth female with Anunnaki male essence they put together. The fertilized egg into the womb of Ninmah by Enki was inserted. There was conception. The pregnancy by an admixture conceived. How long will it last? To each other they wondered. Will it be 9 months of Nibiru or will it be 9 months on earth? Longer than on earth, quicker than on Nibiru, the travail came. To Ninmah, a male child was born. Enki, the boy child, in his hands, the image of perfection he was. Okay, let me show y'all an illustration. There's an old Babylonian illustration of this. Let me see if I can find it. I might have it in my notes. Of this okay, here go the clay vessels. So let me show y'all what's going on right quick. These are the clay vessels that the admixture was mixed in, right? This is Enki right here holding one of the clay vessels. This is Ninmah, and this is the ADAMUU, and this is the ADAMUU. Come on, gifting God. Come on through, gifting God. That's how I be knowing people. That's how I be knowing people be excited by the information, right? When somebody when somebody send a good gift based on some information, shout out to Sharon, man. Let's get it. Come on with it. You already know. I told that dude I love watermelon. Go shave a black man. Talking about go shave your watermelon. Boy, you sad. We melanated. We ain't black no way. We call ourselves melanated. We don't call ourselves black. So here we go. The image of perfection he was. He slapped the newborn on his hind parts. The newborn uttered proper sounds. He handed the newborn to Ninmah. She held him up in her hands. My hands have made it, victoriously she shouted. Now this is the account of how the ADAMUU by name was called, and how Tiamat as a counterpart female for him was fashioned. And that is where we're going to stop for the day, guys. Okay? So ADAMUU was the... Now let me show y'all something. Let me give y'all some information right quick. This is not Adam. This is not who you think of as Adam. This is not Adam. Nope. This is the ADAMUU. This is where you get the name Adam from. But there were two creations. The first creation was the Homo sapien. Okay? This is the first creation. This is the Homo sapien. Let's get it, Sharon. Let's get it, my brother. This is the first creation was the Homo sapien. Okay? There was a second creation after the Homo sapien called the Homo sapien sapien. Put a 2 in the chat if you have this knowledge. If you know that there's a line of Homo sapiens and then there's a line of Homo sapiens sapiens. If you didn't know this knowledge, all you got to do is use your Googles. Use your Googles. Okay? There was 2 lines of creation. The Sumerian tablet is going to validate that. Okay? So the first line of creation was known as the ADAMUU line. Okay? Now, they all excited for this guy. But what's going to happen is eventually the ADAMUU line is going to return to a primitive living style. And the Anunnaki is going to realize that we need a more civilized, we need a smarter human. Okay? And then that's where they created the second line, the Homo sapien sapien. Okay? The Homo sapien sapien is where your biblical Adam and Eve comes from. So the biblical Adam and Eve were not the first people. The ADAMUU and the Tiamat. See, I ain't never heard of that. The first two Homo sapiens. The first two Homo sapiens were ADAMUU and Tiamat. ADAMUU and Tiamat. So you just learned about the birth of the ADAMUU. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to get into the birth of Tiamat. And y'all ain't heard nothing yet. See, they lied on women. They lied on y'all sisters. The church been teaching that the woman ate an apple, or the woman made the man eat an apple. And because of that, we've been cursed, or we sinned against God. That's a fucking lie. That's what you tell people who don't got the real knowledge. The truth is, none of that never happened. That is not where man's knowledge came from. Tune in tomorrow. Join the course. Gotta join the course. 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 See y'all tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow. Join the course. If you want to join, message me. I'll send you the information to do so. We are not having an open house tomorrow. You got a taste of what we do. If y'all want to review this, y'all can go. I'm gonna upload it up to the YouTube tonight. So the course we did today, I'm going to upload this to the YouTube tonight. So if y'all want to go